Hi Eric, it's Matt here with some feedback on your lesson plan, grade 10 academic science dealing with climate change. There's going to be two parts to your feedback. The first one will be the actual document that is attached to the email that you received this video link in. If you look along the right hand side, you'll see all these red boxes. That's where I've put some really specific feedback. I've tried to be really nitpicky about little details that I see here and there and things that could be changed or modified, or things that are great, and different ways to think about things. So hopefully you'll be able to have a look through there, and I hope that makes sense. The other thing I want to talk about in this video is just some very broad ideas about how this lesson is organized. First of all, I think you've got a lot of really neat stuff in here. There are some components that I really appreciate. You have students working on a project where they keep coming back to the same big sheet of paper, where they've got a lot of information and they've got a lot of neat things happening, and I think those could be very useful for a display in class, so I like that element. I think it's fairly well structured. I think you've got way too much stuff in here though, from a content perspective. You've got them, you've got the setup for a cylinder with lamps where you're putting in carbon dioxide and actually modeling it. That's a huge thing. That could easily be a period on its own. You've got, let me look down here, graphing CO2 versus temperature. You've got greenhouse gases, where do they come from and how do we deal with their own greenhouse gas emissions. So each of those things could be a lesson on their own. And I think you'd be best served to split them apart and maybe dig into those things in a slightly more rich way on their own. But that being said, I think you've got a lot of really great techniques in here. I think you've really thought in a pretty deep way about how you want students to engage with the material. It would have been nice to see the PowerPoint that you want included with this. So if you're using this lesson or putting this lesson in your portfolio, that's something that you'd want to include with the lesson, as well as the other components that are necessary to go along with it, and perhaps a link to your Bill Nye video, for example. So thanks for getting this in, Eric. I can see that your teaching experience that you've had before is definitely coming into play here. It looks like you're comfortable planning lessons and you're pretty thoughtful in how you go about doing it, and I think that'll set you up in really good stead for your upcoming placement. So have a look over the comments on the side, and we can chat about them in class, or you can email me, or it might also be a great opportunity to chat during your exit interview. So thanks again for sending this, Eric. I really enjoyed reading it through.